Hi, this is Gary with MACMOST.com. Today, let's talk about Apple's newest piece of hardware, the Apple Card. MACMOST is brought to you thanks to a great group of supporters. Go to MACMOST.com/Patreon and there you can read more about it, join us, and get exclusive content. So I've been using my Apple Card for about a week now. I signed up for the early notification email, got that email, and then signed up for it. Now it's available to anybody. The way you get the Apple Card is you just use your iPhone. You have to have the latest iOS 12.4 and you can go into the Wallet app and there request an Apple Card. I got to it by saying I wanted to add a new card to Apple Pay and one of the options there was an Apple Card. Then it walked me through the process, which was really simple. Probably the easiest way to sign up for a credit card ever. It already had my name, my address. It just asked me to confirm those things. I entered the last 4 digits of my social. And then I gave Goldman Sachs an estimate of how much I make per year. That was pretty much it. After that, it gave me a screen that showed me my rate and my limit. If I wanted to accept that, then pretty much immediately I had the Apple Card, at least the digital version, on my iPhone. In fact, less than an hour later I went out to lunch and I was able to use Apple Pay at one of my favorite restaurants, and I used the Apple Card as my Apple Pay source. So not only did the payment go smoothly, but I got 2% cash back. So that's the main benefit of the Apple Card is you get a base 1% cash back, but you get 2% if you use Apple Pay and 3% if you're at the Apple Store and some other places. Apple added Uber here at the last minute as a 3% retailer, and they may add more. So using the Apple Card with Apple Pay is just like using Apple Pay before. It's just another payment source in Apple Pay. Now you can also use the Apple Card as a regular credit card. So I was able to go into the app and there's a place there where you can get your number, your credit card number for the Apple Card, and I was able to enter that into, say, Amazon and use that as a regular MasterCard on Amazon. For that, I was only getting 1% cash, but that's what I got on my credit card before. What's cool is the advanced functionality inside of the Wallet app. For instance, I can request a new card number. So if I think that number has been compromised, I can just do that within the app and get a new number. I don't have to call anybody or anything. You also can contact support inside the app and you can see all your purchases and they appear immediately. And they don't appear as some cryptic, 8-character little code. You actually see the name of the business. It grabs the logo for the business if it can find it. You see a location and everything. So it's really easy to keep track of your purchases in there. This is also where you can go for support. You do support through messaging in here. And you can pay the card off in here as well. You get this little circle interface where you can choose how much to pay. You can pay on time or pay early. You can pay multiple times during a month. So you can use that to basically bring your amount of interest you're paying down if you're carrying a balance. You also can do security things like lock the card here in the app. And then there's the physical card. So a week later I got the physical card, which is metal. It's made out of titanium. And it's really interesting because it has my name on it and that's it. The Apple logo, Goldman Sachs, MasterCard. It's got the chip there. It's got a strip to swipe. But there's really no identifying information beyond my name on the card. So there's no number on it. There's no place for a signature. There's no pin. So I was a little nervous the first time I used this. I purposely went to a restaurant that I know not only doesn't take Apple Pay, but they don't even have a chip reader. They still swipe cards. And the cashier looked at the card, actually did look for the signature for a second, but didn't say anything when she didn't see it. She went ahead, swiped it, and I didn't have a problem. I'm a little nervous about this because every once in a while I still get somebody examining my card closely, looking at my signature, asking to see my ID. And what's going to happen when they get this card and there's not even a signature for them to compare it to? They're supposed to not need it anymore. That changed last year. But some places are a little bit behind the times. So I'm definitely still carrying a second credit card with me whenever I go out because I don't want to end up washing dishes somewhere. But I would bet that I probably don't run into the situation. I'll have to see how it goes over the next few months. Now you're going to be getting a lot of bloggers and YouTubers talking about the financials behind the Apple Card, right? They're going to compare it to their favorite credit card. They always seem to have a favorite. And how that one's got more benefits and more extras and things like that. I like the idea that there's really just cash back. You get that percentage cash back on each purchase. You get it the next day. You don't have to wait a month. And it's just there in your Apple Pay cash to use for paying for other things. Usually I find that all the benefits and points and all that stuff that you get it doesn't pay as well as just getting cash. So for my other cards, I always end up just converting the points to cash anyway. Now some cards offer things like purchase warranties. They offer special like travel sites or shopping sites and things like that. You don't have any of that with the Apple Card, but we'll have to see what happens a year or two from now after the initial group of signups and Apple maybe wants to get more people on the card. Just the same, there's a lot of people that just don't use that stuff. So maybe keeping it simple and just offering cash back and good customer service might be all that's really needed for a decent credit card. Let me know if you have any questions about the Apple Card. So I'll be using it as much as I can for the next few months, and I'm sure to get a lot of good information about how well this card works and how it compares to my other cards. I publish new tutorials every weekday. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out. Then hit the little bell icon to get notifications for each new tutorial.